as the chief of Los Alamitos Police Department and a privilege as the president of Orange County Chiefs of Police and Sheriff's Association to stand before you on a solemn evening upon ground that we have made hallowed by the building of this beautiful memorial, to remember dutifully and lovingly the law enforcement officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. I want to thank everyone that is here this evening for helping to maintain one of the most critical and long-standing traditions in law enforcement, and that is the honoring of our fallen. We are privileged this evening to have among us the immediate family and closest friends of those whose names appear upon this memorial, and we are greatly honored by your presence. I feel that it is important for those who have suffered the greatest loss, the deepest loss, to know that their loved one died with honor, an honor that grows distinct every passing year and does not fade away like so many other things do in this life. I can promise the family and the friends in attendance this evening that we, as a profession and as a law enforcement community, will never forget your loved one's sacrifice or service, nor will we forget the courage and the love that you showed supporting them through their careers, and every year that you attend the ceremony honoring them. So I'd like to take a few minutes, if I may, to share with the families and the close friends of our fallen why I feel so strongly about being here this evening, and how it is that I understand a little bit of the road that they've been forced to now travel. On June 13, 1966, my father was killed in action in Vietnam while serving our country as a soldier in the United States Army. He would eventually be posthumously awarded many of our nation's highest military honors, but not before my mother was to be notified about my father's heroics and his demise by two soldiers whom she had never even met. These two soldiers were dressed in Class A uniforms and had the gut-wrenching burden of having to deliver the most heartbreaking, life-changing message that no one, and I mean this, no one can ever really be prepared to hear. So on that fateful day, this 25-year-old woman with three boys, 4 years old, 2.5 years old, and 10 months, crawled like a child from her living room floor to her bathroom, where she locked herself behind the door, believing that if she could somehow prevent these soldiers from delivering their message, that she could stop time and not allow the devastating day to become reality. It would merely be, for her, another nightmare that she would awake from, and her husband would be alive. Little did she know just how dark that nightmare could be, and just how long it would truly last. From that point forward, for many years after, we struggled as a family, financially, emotionally, and even spiritually. I was the 4-year-old son at that time. The three boys, two other boys were my brothers, and can recall the many visits that people made to my mother's home immediately after my father's death, offering condolences, advice, and their prayers. There were a number of people telling me that I was the man of the house, and it was my responsibility to help my mom to raise my two brothers. I'm sure, and I'm certain, that some of the children of our fallen who are present tonight have had similar conversations during those most painful early days. And the truth is no amount of condolences, visits, or even prayers could ever stop what would eventually have to follow after such unimaginable, heartbreaking news. What follows is the pain, the struggles, and the loneliness. What follows is the brutal reality of the situation, that life itself has changed and would never be the same again. Having said that, I know that it is those visits, it is your condolences, and most certainly your prayers, which are exactly what these families and close friends of our fallen needed to hear. They help to shore up the courage, to reinstill hope, and sustain the strength required to face another day. And they help to begin the healing process to live a lifetime marked by such days. Just last week, My executive assistant, Catherine Howard, attended Santa Monica Police Department's memorial. Her father, Motor Officer David Kohler, was killed in line of duty in 1960. She too was a young child when he passed. She shared with me how much pride and affirmation attending the ceremony year after year provides her and her family. Although it has been difficult at times, she told me, she feels that it brings her closer to him by honoring his memory of service. She told me that her life has been difficult too, but she considers herself a pretty happy person, all in all. But that part of her heart that grieves her father's loss will always be the sadness that she can truly never lessen, nor would she really want to. But she has come to a place of peace, knowing that he believed in what he was doing, and he loved serving the public as a police officer, and that he died with honor and integrity. Like all of us here, I'm not immune to the news coverage that questions the dedication of our officers, our commitment, the legitimacy of our profession, and even the honor of our calling. But I am provided affirmation with regard to the nobility of policing every day. Every day when I witness good work being done by our police officers, and especially so when I attend memorials for our fallen, like tonight's ceremony. The great American writer Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote in his titled Self-Reliance, "There is nothing at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind." At the end of the day, I imagine this is what often sustains many of us, the truth. Because it often seems no matter how hard we try to do our jobs right, something so can easily pervert that into something less than just. Worse, it's portrayed as abuse of power or a violation of the public's trust, but we know the truth. That truth is how we get up every day, and in some cases every night, to put on that uniform to serve our communities to the best of our abilities. It's days like May 15th and evenings like this that touch and fill our hearts as we gather to honor and remember our fallen, because the truth is they already have honored us, and they continue to do so year after year. As they are the evidence that what we do has meaning, and they are the proof that what we do has purpose. They are the absolute truth that what we do is truly noble. Their lives and their deaths remind us that we are not immortal, but rather we are merely ordinary people who have sworn an oath to take on an extraordinary responsibility to help and protect others in the mundane and the most unimaginable circumstances, with a full understanding of what the cost to do so might actually mean. We are here this evening to honor our law enforcement officers in Orange County, whose ultimate sacrifice serves an extremely painful reminder that the work we do can be horribly and tragically dangerous. But it is good work, it's necessary work, it must get done to protect the innocent. So tonight serves as a reminder for those of us who wear the badge or star to truly embrace the nobility of policing, for there are only a few professions that are so demanding, and ask that you would be willing to sacrifice not just a lot, but in some cases, everything. God bless the family and friends of our fallen who feel the loss the deepest. And may our fallen continue to rest in peace as they provide for us the light and clarity through our moments of darkness and confusion and the challenges that face our profession. And finally, I want to thank all of the men and women in uniform who continue to stand the watch courageously, dutifully, and honorably, who stand this watch for all of us every hour of every day. God bless.